Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a great Saturday so far. I hope that you're going to be able to see. I'm trying to get my lighting right. I wanted to show you guys something that you should never throw away in the grocery store, that you buy in the grocery store. And actually you might not even buy these. I used to wonder why people even bought this. And what I'm referring to is, these are carrots, right? Hopefully you can see this. My lighting's terrible in here right now, but the tops to the carrots. You know how you can buy them sometimes with the green leafy tops? And I used to wonder, like, why would people even buy those? What are you gonna do with them? Well, first of all, they're really delicious in a salad. So you could actually chop up those greens and just throw them into a salad. But what I like to do, and this is what I wanted to show you guys, is I've cut the tops off. I've got them right here. And what I like to do is make pesto with them. So I'm going to put them right into my food processor. And again, I apologize. I know this lighting is not good, but I'll show you the final product and you'll see what all I'm putting in here. So I've got my carrot tops. Now, the other thing that I like to put in is spinach. And obviously I know a traditional pesto has basil, but this time of year, you know, basil is not super fresh, and it's usually a little bit more pricey because it's not abundant and not fresh. So I like to just take my spinach and just put some of that right in with these carrot tops. And sometimes I'll even make pesto with just spinach if I don't have the carrot tops. But this is just a nice way to use everything that you have, you know, and I'm a big fan of making sure that we don't throw anything away that we could eat. I grew up that way and just continued to be that way as an adult. So traditional to pesto, in addition to your typical basil, would be some lemon juice. Now I like to kind of punch up the lemon flavor, so I like to use the outside zest. Sorry, now my battery's going dead. The outside zest or rind of the lemon. And this is just a microplane or grater. And all you do is you just take off the outside. Now, when you're zesting fruit like lemon or oranges, you do want to make sure that you get organic. That is really important because you're obviously eating the outside of this fruit. If you were just using the juice, then not as important to buy organic. But this is just going to give my pesto a little bit more of that lemon kind of punch of flavor. And when you're zesting, you want to make sure that you just take off just the very outside. You don't use the inside white part. That's called the pith, and it is a little bit bitter. So you just want to avoid taking that off. And I like to zest the entire lemon. And this is another way. Use all of your produce. Like get, you know, more bang for your buck, so to speak. Okay. And then you'll see if you've not used one of these before, it kind of gathers on the back. You just kind of tap it and it comes right off. The next thing that's kind of traditional to pesto is garlic. And this is just 1 clove of garlic. It's raw garlic, so I don't, you know, tend to use more than that. If they're smaller cloves, I might use 2. But I like to grate the garlic right in, just like I did the zest. That way you're not biting down on like a big piece of garlic. All right. Now, next thing that I'm going to add to this pesto that is not traditional is some jalapeno. I like a little bit of spice, so I have actually just chopped up, I didn't use a whole one, I just chopped up a little bit of the jalapeno. So I'm going to put that right in. Let me grab my knife. I'm going to cut my lemon in half because I am going to use the juice of the lemon. Now, to avoid the seeds getting in there, you can kind of hold it cut side up and squeeze like this, or you can just put your hand and just squeeze through your hand, or let the juice run through your fingers, sort of. And then that way you don't have to have one of those like fancy juicers, you don't have to have anything like that. And do both halves, because you need a little bit of liquid in here. We are going to put some olive oil. That is, again, you know, traditional to pesto, of course. And then the one other thing that is traditional to pesto is nuts and Parmesan cheese. Now, traditionally you would use pine nuts. Pine nuts are kind of expensive. I'm going to throw that flesh of that lemon in because it'll just be really good. Pine nuts are a little bit expensive, and honestly, they're not my absolute favorite. So I like to use, I'm going to sprinkle some salt and pepper in. I like to use either walnuts, or I have also used sunflower seeds. And the way that I like to kind of kick these up a notch is to, oh, thanks, Claire. Yes, I ended up going back and getting all of them, so they're stackable. So I love them too. Thank you. The way that you kind of get your nuts to have a little bit of a nuttier, even better flavor is just to toast them. And that's what I have on this tray. I'm not going to use all of these because I'm going to use some of them in other recipes. But I'm going to use probably about a half a cup. And so I'm just going to throw those right in. Again, you could totally use pine nuts, which is traditional. You could use walnuts. Almonds probably wouldn't be quite as good, but sunflower seeds work really well. I've even put hemp seeds in this pesto before, so that's another option for you. Okay, let's see, cheese. So as I mentioned, I'm actually making this for a detox that we're running. It's our 7-day shift detox. Some of you watching probably participate with us. If not, it starts tomorrow, and you can go to our website to get details on that if you were interested in joining. But we won't be doing dairy for the week. And honestly, I make this pesto even when I'm not on the detox without the cheese. What I sub for that is nutritional yeast. Y'all, this stuff is so good. It gives such a cheesy flavor, and you will not miss it at all, I promise. So I just sprinkle some of that in, probably about 1/4 of a cup. You can see I'm not super exact with measurements. Kind of throw it all in, taste it, see what it needs, and that's the easiest, simplest way and quickest way. I'm all about getting in and out of the kitchen quickly. So we've got everything that we need in here except for our olive oil. And I'm going to go ahead and start just putting a little bit of olive oil in. And then what I'll do is, once I get this going in the food processor, I'll get it to the consistency that I want by adding a little bit more olive oil. So, of course, this is going to be loud, but I want to show you guys what the final product looks like. So I'm going to turn it on. Just kind of pulse it a little bit. And I can tell that it needs more olive oil, so I'm going to go ahead and stream some of that in while it's running. Okay, awesome. And you see how quickly this comes together. Now I am going to scrape the sides down a little bit and probably give it one more little buzz in the food processor, but y'all, this is so good. I like to top or put this on pasta, warm pasta, stir some of this in. It is so good. I even like to use this to dip veggies in. That's another really good way. Instead of like a hummus or a guacamole, kind of mix it up. Dip carrots or even broccoli or peppers, like red, green, yellow bell peppers. That would be great. Now I do want to give you, if I can find, I have such a huge mess. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Speaking of basil, if you want that kind of traditional basil flavor, but again, it's not in season. So what I like to do is just take my basil essential oil and put a couple of drops of that into the pesto, and it'll give it that nice flavor, you know, that you normally expect out of a pesto. So I'll put a couple of drops of that in, and then I'm gonna give it one more quick buzz in the food processor. And let me take this off just to kind of show you what it looks like, because I know, I apologize, my lighting is bad. But hopefully you can see this. Y'all, look how good that looks. I mean, it is going to be so yummy. We do have a recipe for this. I mix it up a little bit as far as what I put in it sometimes, but there is, if you want to follow a recipe, there is one on our website, anaturalchef.com, that you can go to and get all of the exact measurements for this. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. Try it. It's so good. And don't throw away those carrot tops. Buy them with the tops on. More bang for your buck. So see you guys next time.